Hey, welcome to Chord Dave Live, number 65. It's Saturday night, and as usual, all of the comments have disappeared off the screen just as we're about to go live. So bear with me while I get that set up. Happy Saturday to you. Hope you're doing well. Hope all is good with you. It's good with me, I think. Busy week, so we'll get into that. But for now, it's Saturday night. This is a pint of Guinness, and I've been waiting for it all day. So cheers to you and good luck wherever you may be. Slàinte. Yeah, hits the spot. Lovely. Okay, so to clear it up, Marsha, you won a thing on Phil McKnight's page. Please go over there and message them, because I've been getting messages for you all bloody day. So that's great. I'm sure they're all going to be here as well. Thanks, guys, to everyone who reached out to me. I have no way of contacting Marsha outside of the group chat here. So just so you guys are aware, if you're messaging me about stuff like that, I'm glad if you guys win things on other things, but I have no way of contacting anyone outside of the group chat. So the best thing to do is, if you see the person in the messages, hit them up there, straight out, hit them up directly. Anyway, let's get into it. We've got some chats, and I've got all of them in front of me here. So yeah, we'll talk about stuff, see how we're doing. Hope you're all well. Just remember, if you're new, hit the subscribe button, wait a minute, and then you can start chatting to us. And do say hello if this is your first Chord Dave Live. It's pretty cool around here. So let's see how far we get into it. Scott Bogfoot was here first. He always says hello, so good to see you. Scott Grandpa Joe's here. Says, hope you are all having a great day. And being here makes it an excellent day. Cheers and greetings. Indeed it does, Joe. Thank you so much. John Bratt is here, says, congratulations, Marsha, for winning the Phil McKnight giveaway. I'm totally serious. Phil announced Marsha in his last video. Marsha just needs to respond. Marsha won. These are the kind of things. I have about 100 messages from people telling me this. So, yeah, Marsha won, which is cool. A PRS SE upgrade kit, I believe it is. I'm sure she knows by now. Anyway, we will. I'm going to skip all those messages about Marsha winning, because, you know, I'm sure she'll pick it up from all the comments there. Scott, let Dave know. Yeah, Dave knows. Absolutely. And guys, if you are gonna come into the chat with something, just mention it once. We read every comment out live, so you only need to mention it once, and we'll get it all out there, so that we get it, so that people know it's all there. I read every comment on every live stream, so unless it's repetitive stuff or things that don't need to be said, so like you rude things and such. Well, we even read some rude things. So just to be aware, we just say it once if you're going to be putting things into the comment section. No worries. It's just, it makes, that's why some of the chats have disappeared, because it's only given me X amount, and the system kind of flags the repeat comments. So just be careful on that. Ryan asks, what's in the guitar kit? So it's actually like an upgrade kit, pickups and stuff. I didn't really pay too much attention until I heard that Marsha was the winner. So yeah, some sort of upgrade kit for a PRS SE. It's not a guitar, it's an upgrade for all the parts, which is kind of cool. Grandpa Joe sent her a message on Instagram. That's cool. Absolutely. Ryan says, I give up. I don't care even anymore. Don't give up, Ryan. It's all good. It is all good. There's other competitions coming soon. There might be Chord Dave competitions coming soon. I'm working on some stuff, trying to get it in. So we'll see how it goes. Let me see. Grandpa Joe says to John, Marsha just sent me a message. She contacted Phil last night. It's cool. We're all good. She got her prize. Al says, hey gang, I messaged Marsha this morning right away. She responded to me this morning. She knows. Good. Glad to hear it. And Ryan says, I'll have my own YouTube giveaway with blackjack and hookers. Actually, forget the YouTube. Hey, Ryan. I like blackjack. So, yeah. I mean, maybe it's time I did a Chord Dave giveaway. We did hit 7,000 subscribers recently, which is very, very cool. Is it this week? The days are a blur, so I'm not sure what happened when. But yeah, we hit 7,000 subscribers, which is very, very cool. maybe 7,500 is a good number to hit for a giveaway, and it'll be a small one this time around, but we'll figure something out. I am working on a couple of things and talking to a couple of people who might be able to help us out with things. And Cesar, if you're out there, you know we're friends. Let's just do a Gibson custom shop or a made to measure giveaway free to one of our subscribers here. That'd be super cool. I bet he's not going to do it. Anyway, let me see. What we've got. Al says it's a PRS kit, pickups, tuners, straps, cord, strings, t-shirt, and other stuff. Very cool. There we go. That's what the price is. A pretty cool price, to be honest. I believe the pickups are 5815s, which are not available to buy separately at the minute. So that's a pretty cool thing. Al says everything but the guitar. There you go. Hey, look, even something like that might be enough to you could. I'm not suggesting you can, but those pickups are, you know, probably worth a pretty penny. They might be worth sticking up on reverb or something, and then buy a guitar with the money. Who knows? But there you go. Scott put a link into the video for film event. He mentions it early on in his live stream from yesterday, I believe. So yeah, it's like within the first 10 minutes or so, I think. So anyway, Glenn Bailey won. Al says Glenn Bailey won the guitar stand the previous giveaway. Chord Dave may be a lucky leprechaun. Maybe. So yeah, if you're subscribed to this channel, you will likely win giveaways on other channels. That's true, actually. I believe that's how it works. Let's hope so anyway. Scott reminding everyone, if you're new here, you have to hit that subscribe button, wait for a minute, and then chat on the best chat on YouTube, and even this one as well. Full of cool people and stuff. And again, if it's your first time, press the button and say hello, because, you know, as I said, stuff will happen. Ryan says, just saw it's a PRS SE upgrade kit, so you buy an SE, and then you have the pickups and stuff, and some other goodies. Very cool. Yeah, indeed. James Severance here says, hey, Chord Dave, my Irish brother. Good to see you, James. Hope you're well, my friend. And let me see. We got Grandpa Joe says, he should throw in a body. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. I didn't realize until the end that it was a body. Or it was just an upgrade kit that he was giving away. Straight in with the super chat is Mr. Muddy H2O. My second favorite resident of the state he lives in. I won't give it away. Just, you can't dox people online anymore. Says, I never win anything. That's not true, sir. You won a guitar on this channel and then gave it away. So, you know, it's like that George Michael song where you got it, but then you just gave it away. Anywho, sir, thank you so much for the super chat. It's always good to see you. Yeah, Al says, what? No neck? Indeed. Micah is here. He says, good morning, lads and lassies. How are we? Oh, good, Micah. Glad you're having a Sunday morning down there in New Zealand. Hope you're well. Howdy, folks. Hope we're all well, including you, Dave. Says Ben Allmark. Good to see you, Ben. Doing well, thanks. Ryan says, did anyone see Johnny Rotten going for Eurovision for Ireland? I didn't see it. I turned on the channel late. It was on the Late Late Show, and we turned it on and missed his performance, and he did not win. So, yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. That was definitely some sort of lost a bet kind of thing. Anyway, this thing keeps jumping on me, so sorry, guys. It does. What has happened? Where's it gone? All the messages are disappearing. You see, it's this one, this version, coming back yet. This one's back. Okay, the one I usually use is more or less back. Let me just get caught up. Technology. You would think I would understand it, working in it and stuff. So anyway, where are we? And yes, I'm not in top comments. I'm in all comments. Don't worry. It's all good. Where are we now? Here we go. There we go. No, that's different. They're all mixed up in there. All right. Well, anyway, YouTube. How I love it and hate it at the same time. Okay, I'll do my best to kind of get everything in, guys. Sorry if I do miss something. D-Mac says, g'day everyone, good to see you, D-Mac, hope you're well. And Richard Clark is here, says, what's special about the PRS pups that from Phil is that you can't get them separately any other way? Nice. Cool, Richard. Yeah, that's what I was thinking myself. So good stuff. Sorry, I missed that one. It appears on YouTube. Glenn Bailey is here. Always good to see Glenn Bailey in the chat because, you know, he's fun. William Farris is here. Good to see you, William. Hope you're well. Micah says, I went to a concert yesterday. I saw this guitarist. Not sure if it was Dave or Billy Gibbons. Dude, if it was Dave, I would have been like, dude, I'm in New Zealand. Buy me coffee and beer. So yeah, it was probably Billy Gibbons. Also, I probably wouldn't be streaming from this arena of awesomeness. Anyways, Robert's here. Good to see you, Robert. And good morning to you on your Sunday morning, Saturday night here, of course, and Saturday afternoon for a lot of folks in the stream, of course, but always great to see you, Robert. Thank you so much for joining us. And Marsha's here, so she'll find out for sure about her prize winning. Says, be right back. Feeding the doggo. I'm running a bit late because I woke up late. Yeah, I wish I kind of miss sleep. It's one of my favorite things. Glenn Bailey says, Marsha won a PRS SE upgrade humbuckers 5815, I believe, a set of locking tuners and a strap, a cable, shirt, stickers, jack, pot, a jack and a pot. That's interesting. I like that. Good stuff. Let me see. It says, by the way, it looks like two of us got lucky with a Phil giveaway lately. Might want to get in on his giveaways, folks. It's obviously the TCD look of the glory hole to play. Yes, Marsha, indeed. And congratulations on your win. Indeed. But yeah, as I said, it's clearly the 3-Chord Dave influence that has you winning these giveaway guys. So Robert Baker does giveaways. Phil does them. And a couple other folks. So join, like, participate, win stuff. It's like Vegas around here, except you got to go to other places first. Good stuff. Scott, of course, is trying to tell me I don't know the difference between live chat and top chat again. It's all good, Scott. I do understand those two things. Bear in mind, YouTube is just a prick. So likes to mess with us. And using two different programs. YouTube doesn't like the fact that I use a different program to live stream from. They want you to live stream from YouTube, but their interface is awful. So there you go. Let me see what we got here. Ben Allmark says, I like the t-shirt, Dave. It looks great, bro. Thanks. Yes, it's the old school 3-Chord Dave shirt with the totally legit, not ripped off anybody's logo font. 3-Chord Dave logo. It does say 3 AVE from some angles because of somebody's beard. Anyway, never mind. Marsha says, thank you very much. I got pummeled with people trying to tell me last night. Thank goodness, because I but happened to miss the live stream. You and I both, Marsha. I got pummeled just as much. So there you go. Now I need a guitar to match. I will get there. Indeed. Richard says, why wait for a Guinness? There is no law against them in the morning. There isn't, but there is a law against driving once you've been drinking them. So yeah, couldn't get couldn't do that. So anyway, I like to keep my head clear for the live stream so that I set them up right. Because that could be an issue. John says, I've been entering every contest, Phil giveaway, and no luck yet. Bear in mind, Phil has what? Hundreds of thousands of subscribers. It's you're less likely to win one of his giveaways. I think his giveaways, like his live streams, pull in something like 30 to 40,000, maybe 60,000 on an average. So there's a lot more people watching those. Mine tend to average 200 over the course of a week, and usually about 40 to 50 will join us live in the 2 hours. So if it's a thing done live on a giveaway here, you have a 1 in about 50 chance to win. In Phil McKnight's, you've got a 1 in about 40, 50,000. So there you go. I don't know how many people watch him live. A lot more than watch here. So you have a better chance when we do a giveaway. So who knows? And we will not be doing it the same way we did last time. Next time we do a giveaway, we'll do something else. So because I cancelled my subscription to that app I was using, because I used it twice in the year and it wasn't really worthwhile. Anyways, or 3 times in the year, was it? 3 times. There we go. So, Richard says, you entered Phil's contest. Did you hear Marsha won? I think I heard that. There's a rumor going around the internet. Glenn says, I'm seriously looking at getting a Katana Mark II 100 head. Any thoughts? Do it. That's my thought. Do it. And then tell me if I should do it. Deal. Benny says, congratulations, Marcia. That's awesome. And hi, guys. Good to see you, Benny. Hope you're well, my friend. Thanks for dropping in. Scott says, I have my right bicep tendon torn at the elbow. I'm trying to type with the left hand. Dude, that is a painful one. Yeah, I mean, ouch. So yeah, take care of yourself, bro. John Sagers says, just got a Silver Sky SE, and in all honesty, the neck feels like it was hardly any finish on it. Even my Squire Affinity has a wee bit of lacquer. Rock on, brother. Good stuff, John. You listen, a lot of people don't like lacquer on the back of their neck, so maybe they've done it on purpose. I don't know. I haven't held a Silver Sky SE or a Silver Sky for that matter. So yeah, maybe it's a purpose built thing, or if or purpose built, purposely done thing. I don't know, but listen, let us know how you feel about the guitar once you've had it for a bit. That sounds like a cool one. Let me see what else we've got. Richard says, yeah, but Dave gives away crappy stuff like the whole guitar. I know, I should really just give away like a pickup and a strap. Maybe that's what I'm going to do. In fact, here we go. I got a Gibson pickup. Who wants it? You can have it. It's completely free. It sounds awful. It was in the neck position of my Flying V when I bought it, and it was this pickup that made me decide I 100% had to get some new ones for it. So there you go. So maybe I'll do something like that. Al says 7.5k sounds good, and yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking. I'm going to work that. I don't actually know how many subs we have right now. Let's check. I know we hit 7,000. I think it was this week. So right now, at this moment, we have 7,041, and we've gone up 362 this in the last month. So in about a month or so, we'll probably be doing a giveaway, which is good. So yeah, recommendations and such can come in, but we'll do something. Glenn says, nice Silver Sky, very cool. Benny says, make sure to keep an eye on your autocorrect. Hi guys nearly turned into bye guys. Very different meaning. Hey, that's our Sunday night chat live stream that we do, Benny. You got to be careful in that one too, not to be saying too many things. No, we only do the one live stream, just to be clear. But yeah, good stuff indeed. Marcia says, I was reading about the pickups. I saw a video about them on PRS. They're actually something unique for a change. It's a humbucker that is supposed to have more clarity. Interesting, good stuff. Well, let us know when you get them, Marcia, and we'll see if anyone knows anything about them. He said, and really have high trebles with single coils using some new technology they created. It's not a coil split type deal from what I'm understanding. They actually sound like the best of both worlds and not a compromise. Well, get them in a guitar and let's see. I never believe when they say that. But there you go. We'll find out. I'm sure. Let me see. We've got people applauding Muddy H2O, which is it's one of my hobbies. Marge says, there's a bunch on sale on Reverb at $500 face value. If you really want them, I would have thought people would be trying to bump the price on a very unique sold out pickup. That's pricey enough for a set of pickups. Wasn't really aiming to look at Reverb, but the listings popped up when I was doing a web search to find more info, so there's still some available out there, and not even at a premium. Maybe it's not flippers selling them. There you go. Yeah, absolutely. Sam says, hey Dave, hit me up. I can help you learn one or two more chords. That's not true, Sam, because there are not one or two more chords. There are three chords. A, D, and F. Everyone knows this. So yeah, what kind of scam you trying to pull, Sam? We're all good. Thanks, Sam. Good to see you, man. Hope you are doing well. Marcia says, actually quite a few available there. About 60 listings. Wow, that's interesting. That's quite a few listings. But there you go. Muddy H2O says, second favorite resident of my state, SK better be the first. Sort of the pink panties picture is going up in the Facebook group. Cheers. Anywho's, we have I have no fear. That picture is a good one. It's taken from my good side, so I'm pretty happy with it. Scott says, who's wearing them? You might have to find out on the Facebook group. Richard says, who is Dave Gibbons? Billy's long lost brother, who, he's not quite as talented a guitarist, but man, dude can play the bass. SB says, evening people, my wiring parts for the SG got lost. I got a Prime refund and I have to wait 2 weeks for a new pack to get home. Man, that sucks. But good to see you, SB. Thanks you were there. Muddy H2O just says TCD, which of course means Trinity College Dublin. Don't know why he's promoting that particular college, but hey, all good. Big fan of it. Big fan of it. It's got books there, which I've read 3 of. Marcia says they made a batch of 1,165 pickups. I think I read 1,000 went to retailers. The rest sold by PRS directly. There you go. And one set to you. So there you go. John says, just say GH and you'll win the Phil M giveaway. I don't know. That might be, it might not be the secret code, but you could try it for sure. Glenn says, I saw those Pig Patty pics on Instagram. You did, Glenn. You're not supposed to tell people you're in that private group, but hey, it's all good, man. This is going to be one of those live streams, isn't it? It's going to be one of those ones where, you know, I regret ever doing a live stream in the entirety. It's all good. We'll have fun. Glenn says, you have to say glory hole 3 times. Indeed. Phil's giveaways are run through Instagram. It's you know what? I do have an Instagram page. I don't post often enough, and when I do, I usually post books I'm reading. So don't worry about following me on Instagram for what do you call it? Giveaways. I can barely do social media. It drives me insane. But yeah, it's fine. We'll do them here on YouTube, probably on live. Actually, only on live. Just a word of warning. If I do a giveaway, it will only be on this live. I will not be announcing winners via text. I won't be contacting you in the comment section saying, hey, you won. Call me here at this number and send me some iTunes gift cards. That won't happen. I will only contact people. Actually, I won't contact them. You'll send me an email and then we'll respond. And the email address is listed in all the videos. So don't contact anyone who says you won a prize because you haven't. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say on that. Glenn says, you shouldn't drink and drive. You spill your beer if you're not careful. Exactly. And the way people drive around here, let's just say Irish people, I'm pretty sure, just don't know how to drive. I was at a traffic lights today. There was a dude, I'm pretty sure when it changed from red to green, he did not know that meant go forwards. Proceed ahead in the general direction you're pointing. He wasn't sure what to do. So yeah, had to beep him off the road. But there you go, Irish people driving. Doesn't go well. John says, Al, I'm too old to navigate Instagram. Instagram is one of those places, man. I'm not a big fan of it. Because every time I go on it, it's like, hey, you want to buy something? No, not really. And then I buy something. So there you go. Scott Browers here says, click like, everybody. Indeed, Scott, and great to see you. Thanks for dropping in. Muddy H2O says, Glenn, his tricycle has a cup holder. 2 cup holders, sir. 2. It was built for summer. Butterfly Effect says, hello all. Good to see you, Butterfly Effect. Hope you're doing well. Al says, I don't look into mirrors. Facebook is foreign to me. But there you go. Yeah. I mean, interesting take on Facebook. Glenn says, do you still take cute goth cousins for extra entries in your contest? No, that was a one-time deal, Glenn, and honestly, I've regretted it ever since. So there you go. Scott says, Dave, any guitar rumors? No, there's nothing. There is no flipping guitar news of any kind. Hence, no real guitar videos have appeared on my channel this week. I thought of making up some bullshit nonsense because that's what other YouTubers are doing, and I decided not to because I don't like doing that. I like to make videos that are decent. I have some stuff I'm going to do next week, but yeah, I didn't. There's just nothing there. It's just completely dry out there. At least my sources, my people just have got nothing for me. However, if you were starved of 3-Chord Dave content this week, we did start doing exclusive Patreon content available to all patrons. Guitar wish list is back, but only on Patreon. This one is the Eastman T486 thin line. I'll tell you all about it, why I like it and why I want it and why it's going to be the next guitar I buy. Next week on Wednesday, there will be another guitar wish list, and every Wednesday for the foreseeable future while I still have patrons. So everybody sign up to Patreon and get your guitar wish list on every week. It's back, but it's slightly different, and it's going to be there every Wednesday. What I will say is, well, that is the first of new things that is going on Patreon. There is at least 2 more different weekly shows or bi-weekly shows that are going to be on there. So maybe Guitar Rumors is going to be one of them. I don't know. That's a good idea. Just rumors of things that I've heard, because I hear a lot of stuff that I know is nonsense and I don't make any videos or talk about those. But anyway, there it is. That's the guitar wish list. It's back. It's on Patreon. You can find a link in all the videos. That's all I will say. Right, let's move on. SB says, why would you give away a Strat on? Go on, Dave. Keep it classy like Ron Burgundy. No holes either, dude. I mean, listen, people have their needs and their wants. And around here on a Saturday night, pretty much anything goes. So, you know, it's all good. Glenn says, I'll take that pickup if it comes with a bottle of Jack. That bottle of Jack. No, that bottle of Jack is being reserved for a special occasion. It's called Thursday, next Thursday. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that bottle won't be there next Thursday, but we'll see. Or next Saturday, I should say, next live stream. But yeah, there's no. Marcia says, oh my God, we should do a giveaway of all our unwanted crap. That would be fun. Hey, that pickup is not unwanted crap. It is a Gibson pickup. Okay, fine, it's crap. Daniel Bryan is here, says, hey, good to see you, Brian. Daniel Bryan. Yeah, thanks for dropping in. Scott says, did anyone buy those Berserker guitars? I've seen no YouTube videos showing them off like the Bees one. That's because they're not out yet, Scott. They are coming out on the 14th, which is still a week and a half away. So yeah, so you will see for sure those probably next weekend and on. You'll see them. So yeah, keep an eye out for all of your YouTube to be covered with those. And then probably a week later, so maybe 2 weeks later, we'll find out what the next one is. Of course, if I find out sooner, I'll let you know. Marcia said, I didn't say they are the best of both worlds. Said it sounds like they are. Oh, that's fine. It's fine. Chris from Coburg says, congrats, Marcia. Hello, y'all. Now drink. All right, then, fine. Cheers. Glenn says, what the F chord exists? I heard it exists. It's a rumor, Glenn. Chris from Coburg says, there's a Facebook group. There is. I don't think it works properly anymore, and I've given up trying to make it work. So, yeah, you can join the Facebook group. The link is in most of the videos, I think. And it's Facebook made an update, and it's terrible. So, anyway, it's not as good as it used to be because of Facebook. And I don't really like Facebook, so there is the answer. Glenn says, I think the buzz of those Epiphone may have dropped off a bit. There's still people who don't know they exist, and then they see them and they're like, what? It's that much money for an Epiphone? And then people start arguing about Gibson and Epiphone prices. And I'm like, guys, if you just watched my videos for the last year and a half, you'd know this was going to happen. So, you know, just tell more people to watch these videos, because I've been saying about the Epiphone thing for, I can't remember when I started telling you guys the prices of Epiphones were going to go crazy. But it was a long time ago. So now that it's happening, people can be like, oh, this Chord Dave guy, he knows things. It's so much so that Gibson really hate me. And they look and they watch my stuff and be like, where's he getting his information from? And just in case you're curious, I'm just going to give you some insight as to what I do. So I have a couple of people who are reliable with Gibson's stroke Epiphone stuff, and I have about 3 or 4 people who are hit and miss. Sometimes they get it right, sometimes they don't. And then I have some people who send me stuff when it's kind of leaked already. So I'm very well connected in terms of Gibson Epiphone, and I know when something is actually coming because like 6 people will tell me about it. But sometimes one of the people who's like 50-50 will tell me something that comes true 6 months later, and I'll have ignored it when they told me. So what I do is I usually don't say anything about Gibson rumors or Gibson things that I've heard until I've heard it from 3 people. So at that point, I'm pretty solid that I know what's happening. Because these are people who are all getting it from different sources. Like, for example, one of them knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who works there. I'm not saying how close exactly, who like works in the inner workings of Gibson. Someone who works in a very big retailer, and somebody who I would say is an artist liaison or a liaison with an artist. He knows an artist and kind of gets all the information there. So that's all I'm going to say. But yeah, that's why I get a lot of Gibson stuff first. But I need 3 of them to say what's happening before I believe it. So yeah, the buzz I don't think has dropped off from the Adam Jones. So people are still going to go mad for them. But yeah, they're not out for another week or so, just over a week. T-Ball says, what up, guitar freaks? What up, Anthony? Good to see you, man. Hope you're well. And Marcia says, by the way, did you all hit the thumbs up on Dave's stream yet? Yeah, that's it. Hit the thumbs up for bonus points for the giveaway that we do in 6 weeks or so. Get the bonus points. T-Ball, hi T-Ball says, all guys. T-Ball says, hey Marcia, congrats on winning the Film McKnight giveaway. And Nella's here, says congrats. Thanks, Nella, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Let me see what we got. Butterfly Text says, what is that Guinness in the back? So this Guinness is a little thing that you put on top of these cans to make them taste more like Guinness you'd buy in a pub. And that goes into that box. That's why there's one up there. So just in case you're wondering what that is. And yeah, it's a new thing that they brought out about a year ago to make Guinness in a can taste a little bit more like Guinness in a pub. Does it? No. But it's better than Guinness in a can used to taste. So that's good enough for me. Glenn says, do you think Epiphone will be releasing new finishes this year? Yes. So I think what's happening is a total refresh, not a total refresh, but definitely a refresh of the, are they called standard lines now, I guess, or the core lines or whatever they're calling them, like the inspired by Gibsons. I'm expecting to see some different finishes and stuff like that. Sales on those things have started to slow down because they're only offering the same shit all the time. So they need to offer different finishes to get more sales. But there's going to be some interesting stuff announced very soon by Gibson and Epiphone. So yeah, definitely get those, keep those eyes open for Epiphone. I'm not sure if they're keeping it till the NAMM week. I think they might be. So at this point, because they would have, I expected them to do something last week if they were going to, skip the whole NAMM thing. So the fact that they haven't makes me think that they are going to wait till NAMM to do a full release, which is good because they'll do a whole week's worth of content. So it'll be fantastic. And we'll be there live streaming from NAMM once everything goes well. I'm going to be there. So if you want to be a part of that, make sure you're subscribed. Hit the Patreon, and I'm sure there'll be something extra from Patreon from NAMM at that point. And also there'll be t-shirts and stuff like that going up for sale very soon to help fund, coffees and stuff over there. I'm kind of scared about going to NAMM. I don't think I've thought it through properly. I'm looking through the map yesterday. It's massive. I don't know if I'm going to get to everything, but we'll find out. Because I got some plans for other things I want to do, not just NAMM while I'm over in that part of the world. So we'll see. Muddy H2O says, Colin and I finally broke you down. Yes, for the Eastman. Everyone knows if Muddy H2O tells me to do something, I do it. So he's been at me to go look at Eastman guitars for a while. And then I did, and I was like, I like that one, dude. So yeah. So my plan is still not to buy any guitars until after NAMM. But we'll see if I stick to that or not. And if we don't, that'll be the guitar I buy, the Eastman T486, that you're going to find out all about on Patreon for guitar wishlist. Or you can look it up yourself. It's fine if you don't want to hear me tell you about it. Glenn says, Eastman seem like sweet guitars. Indeed. Scott says, TCD show idea, 3 rumors and a lie. Oh, that's a nice play on 3 chords and the truth. I like it a lot. Yeah. Maybe I could do that. SB says, I heard a rumor that for every lawsuit Gibson wins, Mark and Cesar get Balder. Can they get Balder? I don't know. I'm going to see those guys at NAMM. If I do, it's going to be just a bald guy huddle. It's going to be great. Got some stuff. T-Ball says, I got some guitar news. I finally put on some new strings. congratulations to you all. I'm proud of you, man. It's good. I need to do that to pretty much all my guitars too this week. So yeah, it'll get done. It'll get done eventually. Maybe next week. We'll see what happens. Marcy says Dave needs a sponsor a friend level for us poor folk. There are people that do that in case a patron wants to sponsor a friend. I don't even know how to do that, to be honest. If there's a level you can a way I can do that, I'll put it there, and if someone wants to do it, it's all good. What else? Yeah, Patreon's an interesting thing. The reason, by the way, people have asked me, hey, why aren't you doing memberships on YouTube or something like that? YouTube takes way more money than Patreon does. So if, for example, if you do a membership on YouTube, I'm pretty sure they take, after fees and everything else, and you get paid, it's very close to like 50%. It's not, it's like you get more than 50%, but not much more. I think Phil McKnight actually mentioned this on his live stream yesterday, but yeah, they take a big chunk out of it, whereas Patreon take quite a lot less than they do. So that's why Patreon is better for creators. So anyway, there you go. That's why. But well, I'll look into that, Marcia, and I'll see if I can figure out what that is or how it works. Ryan says, no, that's not true. For every lawsuit, Mark and Cesar get closer. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Marcia says, I also have seen $1 to $2 level in some channels. Yeah, I think my cheapest one, I'm not sure, is probably like $4, like $3.99, something like that. I don't know. I set it up really quickly one night. So yeah, I could look, if I knew we were going to get signups for it, I would change it, but it doesn't look like we are going to get a lot of signups. So where's my thing? It doesn't show me. That's good. All right. Well, I'll look into it and see how I got my tiers. There we go. So we got a $4.99 tier, a $9.99 tier, and then the $19.99 a month, where you get the free mug after 3 months of being a patron. If you're not sure what that is, it is this mug right here. Yeah, you can get this very cool mug by being a patron of the channel for more than 3 months. And it says Chord Dave on it. There you go. Anyway, I'm not pimping it too much. I'm trying not to pimp it too much. But anyway, check it out. It's got all the things. Yeah, I could probably introduce a cheaper one. If loads of people signed up for it, I would keep a cheaper one. But there has been not much interest, so I'm not really interested in it. But I'm going to be putting shows over there that are only on Patreon, so it might be worth signing up. Anyway, let's talk about something else. Glenn says, are we invited over Thursday to help you with that jack? No. That's mine. Chris from Coburg says, Facebook blows. Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel. Mike says, hey Dave, I thought last week you said you would have one shot of JD with us. All good, enjoy. Sooner or later I will, Mike. The bottle's not open yet. I thought it would be at this point, but it's not. So yeah, I will once the bottle's open, I promise. T-Ball says, I got off Facebook 4 years ago. The place is a toxic dumpster fire. Yeah, pretty much. Marcia says, Dave says lots of stuff that makes people rant. True. Dave has never been wrong on his info thus far, as I recall. But thanks, Marcia. You know what it is? Sometimes it's I'm saying things and it's months out, or in fact, it's been over a year out at times when it's happened, and that makes people think I'm talking nonsense. Because sometimes I hear things and it's like maybe even just in the idea stage where it's coming from. So yeah. All I can say is I do my best to try and verify information. And sometimes I think I have got a couple of things wrong. I'll be perfectly honest with you. But usually I'm pretty close to it. And that's why I don't make videos with every rumor I hear, because sometimes it's just not true. And I'm pretty sure I've been fed rumors that were false on purpose, just so that they could be fed, so they could figure out where they're coming from. But anyway, that's a whole other thing. So SB says, I heard a rumor that Geek Lord secretly likes Harley Benton more than Gibson, but he did shady things when he sold fruit before his YouTube channel, so Cesar has some dirt on him. I can't say more. SB, that's actually true. It's well known in the YouTube guitar community here in the background. It's well known, the shady things he did. In fact, since his starting his YouTube channel, but that's another thing. SB with another rumor. Phil McKnight stole a casino, a Vegas casino, an Epiphone casino. Who knows? He might even use shampoo. He probably does, you know. I go through quite a lot of beard shampoo myself, but no idea why. Glenn says, SB, you're saying Geek Lord has big panty pics in Cesar's office. Worse, way worse. Al says, Phil McKnight and Dave use the same barber. I mean, it's a long way to go for a haircut, but the guy does a good job. What can you do? Scott says, Joe Bonamassa Lazarus was released the day of the first Epiphone price increase because of Dave. I was able to buy mine before it was released, and I didn't pay the extra $50. Thanks, Dave. You're welcome, Scott. Thank you for letting us know about that. Yeah, that was cool. We get to save people a few bucks on that one. Yeah, that's what I like to help people in my own little way. Speak with another new rumor. Robert Baker spent some years in Bolivia selling goats and alpacas, and a shaman wizard told him how to play like Eddie Van Halen. That's actually just a truth. It's not a rumor. Yeah, Robert Baker was given some mystical powers. That's how he's such a good guitar teacher. And guys, if you're not subscribed to Robert Baker, please do go and subscribe to him. I love his channel. I love the content he makes. I love his lessons. In fact, there are guitar lessons. Like, you know, he does these blocks where he sells certain courses, and like as soon as he puts one out, I'll buy it. I have like 3 or 4 of them that I haven't even seen yet because I haven't had time. But as soon as he puts his courses out, he does a good deal on them, and they're always worth checking out. So check out Robert Baker if you haven't already. He's definitely one of the coolest guitar YouTubers, and he doesn't even know who I am, so he's not helping. Like, I can gain nothing by telling you that. So do go and subscribe to him. T-Ball says, at this point, the only thing inspired by Gibson is lawsuits. Yep. I mean, look, there's lots of companies inspired by Gibson, but like the golden years of Gibson. I don't think we're living in a vintage era of Gibson. You know, that nobody in 50 years' time is going to be like, oh man, I really wish I had a 2023 Gibson Les Paul. Or hey, those 2022 Gibson Explorers were cool. No. This is going to be the reissue age. Everyone's going to be like, oh man, remember those reissue age guitars? They sucked. And yeah, so that, I don't know, they'll figure it out. I genuinely think the people at Gibson are going to figure it out. The right people are there. They just need to kind of get over the whole lifestyle brand thing, which is, I mean, it's fine. Make all the coffee table books and the bandanas and the fucking cocktails, whatever you want. That's fine. Just make your guitars better. That's all we need. And don't sue people all the time. Only sue them when they genuinely should be sued. But anyway, it's all good. SB says they need to make Gibson a line of cocaine inspired by Gibson. I think that's hilarious. I just can't comment on it. But yes. Marge says, by the way, did anyone here get that Harley Benton / guitar? No, but it's definitely on my list as well. It's not going to be my next guitar after the Eastman. It's not going to be, but it's something that I think I'll pick up by the end of the year, if for no other reason, just to check it out, because they're doing, as far as I'm aware, I think I mentioned this in the video I did about that guitar. I think I'm pretty sure it's their first actually modern weight relieved guitar, and that's interesting. Just sort of the fact they've never done it, but also I'm pretty sure it's going to be a better slash signature than is available from the proper channels. So anyways, but there's new stuff coming there as well, so we'll see what they are in the next couple of months. Lenny says the new USA made Gibsons are really nice. I recently played a Casino USA. Finish was Nitro, 3.8k price tag. Yeah, Lenny, listen, those are great, but they're Gibsons. It's a Gibson Casino, just says Epiphone on the headstock. I have no problem with that. That's fine. And you know, history on the channel of people complaining about, you know, me saying that USA made Epiphones was a bit of a thing that was weird for them to do. but it is. It's not like they have an Epiphone department. They have, so if I work at Gibson in Nashville and I'm making guitars, I can pick up an Epiphone and make it, and then the next guitar is a Gibson and the next one's an Epiphone. They're like, I don't work in the Epiphone department. So it's a bit weird to me, but they're cool guitars, and there's a few historical details they got wrong, but that's fine. They're still good guitars. They're still excellent guitars, but yeah, I have my issues with the USA made ones, especially because they don't really differentiate them between the Chinese made ones at the minute. So considering those are available at like $3.99, it's 10 times the price. It's crazy. But listen, man, if you got one and you love it, that's amazing. That's the most important thing. I think they're cool, but I just wish they were more accurate and more upfront about it. But there you go. Marcia says, Dave, I think people just pay extra and then the channel lord gives someone free access. I think that's how I've heard anyway. I'll look into it and see how I can do that, even because I don't know how to do that. So, but we'll see. There might be some ways of doing it. I'll have to look into it. As far as Patreon goes, I spent a little bit of time setting it up and then I just upload stuff to it. So there we go. Ryan says, can't wait to get that sweet mug. Indeed, you should be getting yours soon, sir. It's on the way, I think. So keep an eye out for that. SB says, is it me or the logo from the mug looks like but a guitar shows up on the other side? I don't know, sir. If that's what you think that might be, then I think you might have some ideas. Yes, possibly. Mike says, cool mug, love to have one. This YouTube CBSA channel. Not CBSA. Good, because I had no idea what CBSA means. Yeah, love this YouTube channel. Thanks, Mug. I appreciate it. That's super cool. Yeah, the mug is interesting. I like it. It's a very basic one for a reason, but there'll be more merchant stuff coming very soon, I promise. I just haven't found a good provider yet. As soon as I do. And I think I nearly have one, so we'll figure it out. Benny says, have you guys seen the new Epiphone short scale basses? They call them Newport, but I can recognize a Wiltshire when I see it. They look really comfortable, perhaps especially for the 6-string guitarists. Yeah, I've seen some actually this week, Benny. They look pretty cool. In fact, I took a second look and then I realized they were basses and I kept moving. I don't do bass myself. Not yet. I probably will at some point, but you know, we'll get to it. But yeah, they look pretty cool. If you're into basses, I would definitely check them out because they just look cool. Glenn says, Dave, Cesar or Mark walk now. And new podcast, 3 bald dudes, troll geek lord. Yeah, I don't think they're going to do podcasts with me. I've invited Cesar on this channel many a time, and he just doesn't answer me. I don't know why. He was very into telling me I was wrong on Instagram when I wasn't. So I don't know why he responded to me then saying your information is wrong. It wasn't though, but hey, it's all good. Mark says, Dave needs another GH special shirt. There's a way to make a quick buck. This was his best seller to date. There needs to be a GH special collection. Yes, they are still the best sellers. To be honest, I don't think I have the artwork for those anymore. I'll have to dig it out. I don't know if I can legitimately keep them up there. But yeah, they did sell. You guys are all sick, so we sold more of those t-shirts than any other. And some of them have done okay, but those ones just in a week sold more off the bat than any other ones. And pretty sure it's Glenn's fault. So anyway, that's all I'll say on that. Now it says the Newport is actually a reissue. The Newport originally came out in 1961. Very cool. I know less about basses than I do about guitars, so I had no clue about that whatsoever. But very good info there, Nella. Thanks for that. SB says, Glenn, I'm not joking about that, because what if they start a fight with swords like in Highlander? Lots of casualties and fire breaks out, the Nam building collapses. Only Dave survives. Hey, listen, man, as long as Dave survives, we're doing well. But yeah, that's quite a scenario you got worked out there. I'm glad I survived. It's all good. Marcia says, when did the Wilshire get released? It was in the 60s. I'm not sure the exact date, but I could find it if I needed to. T-Wall says, I heard Geek Lords is getting a signature model. Problem is, he bought them all up so he could flip them. Yeah. It's true. SB, that obviously use guitar necks as swords. That's just which ones? That's the thing. Anyway. Use Dean guitars as swords. Ooh, they wouldn't like that. Richard says to know, yeah, I believe Rhett Scholl's friend Phil plays a sweet old Newport short scale. Very cool. Rhett Scholl is a cool YouTuber as well. Yeah, T-Ball, they all say prototype. There you go. Let me see what we got. DMAX says, my favorite Epiphones lately are the SG Standards and the Les Paul Classics. I've played the higher priced guitars and they're cool, but I like the Classics and the Standard. I think the Classics are very cool for sure. And you guys know I love an SG. I do love the Standard, but the Special's my fave. It's got a special place in my heart, but I do love the SG Special a lot. But there you go. Richard says, have you seen the first fret neck depth t-shirts? Wonder how many of those Geek Lord will be buried with. It's a great question. I haven't seen any of his merch other than the one t-shirts that I do have, which I bought for the crack. Basically just to test the quality of this provider, and I wasn't impressed. I mean, it's not a bad shirt. It's just the print on it's not good. I don't know whether that's Geek Lord's fault or the shirt company. So we'll find out. Got some orders in. Ryan says they need to give up all the 59 hype. No one cares anymore. Most are being resold well below retail, especially the Murphy Labs sit for years in shops. It's interesting because they're definitely making a play on years now, and they're like 59 obviously, and the 61 SGs and things like that. And like I've never played a 59 Les Paul, like an actual one from 1959, but I have watched a lot of content from people who have, and the most overriding thing I get from them is that some of them are terrible, but when you get a good one, it's great. But that means most of them are terrible. so yeah, I mean, look, and as well, for a guitar that's like that old, a lot of them are not going to have been kept in the best condition and so forth. So I actually agree with you, Ryan. I think, there's a small marketplace or small market for 59 reissues, but they have to do them right and they have to price them right. And I think they'd be better off just making really good standards. Again, just have that be the standard and be great. But anyway, there's a whole thing. I could go through what they should be doing and what they shouldn't. But also people need to stop. Some people think if it says 59, then it's better than everything else. That's not true. I don't know. I think a lot of people, when they're beginners or they're taking their first steps in the guitar world, they hear a 1959 Les Paul. That's the holy grail. And they think everything then should be a 59. And that's definitely not true. So you like everything Fender 59 is not 59 is not a special year in Fender history, particularly. Not a bad year, but it's not a special year. And so forth. So, it's one of those things. I think they play too much on it and it becomes like this folklore kind of mythical thing. You're 100% right. It's not, it shouldn't be that important. Marcia says, actually, lots of guitar stuff would make great weapons. Pickups with brass pole pieces should be brass knuckles. I mean, a string can choke people. Strings are perfect for groats, which, anyway, we won't go into it. Scott says, they're made upon order, so none. And for the t-shirts, yeah, well, you're more than likely correct. Mars says pointy picks, flying stars. Yeah, absolutely. And SB says Phil McKnight could make a Molotov bomb with that Hello Kitty guitar from Loudwire. Weaponize my axe. Weaponize my axe would be an interesting concept. I would watch that. That'd be fun. Glenn says, easy, Marsha, calm down. There's enough violence here tonight with Dave chugging beer and talking about his favorite brand, Gibson. They're my second favorite brand. They're the brand I love to hate the most, but there you go. Google Keith Richards guitar weapon and see the real deal. There you go. I don't want to don't want to. Ryan says, don't forget about the cardboard shipping box, Marsha. You could stuff someone inside. There you go. By the way, SB started this violent conversation. It's too late now. You took it and ran and made it your own. T-Ball says, I've been assaulting people's ears for years with my guitar playing. Same. Midi H2O says, I'm holding out for the knee pad tier. I'm definitely just, I don't know, man. I'm just, yeah, I'm just going to roll on past that one. Lenny says, I definitely don't have one. Would never spend that money on anything that says Epiphone, no matter where it was made. But the dealer says Epiphone has a new US factory for core line guitars. So the Epiphone USAs are made in the same place as the Epiphone, as the Gibson USAs. They're on the same benches. They're on the same places. It's 100% the same. So yeah, it's not a new factory. They're making them in the same place. I think they may have extended that factory recently. I'm not 100% sure if that was them or someone else, but they're definitely the same place, same people. As I said, I know people who work there, so they're making the same guitars. But yeah, dealers will say anything. But I agree with you. I wouldn't pay that much for an Epiphone. I balked at paying over $1,000 for an Epiphone that I really wanted this year with the Bonamassa 335. So the thing is, and I mean, I was brought up when an Epiphone would cost you $399, and that'd be your highest level of Epiphone. So, or that I ever saw in my local stores anyway. So I kind of have a thing, about paying over $1,000 for them. But hey, they're good guitars though. They're good guitars. They should say Gibson on them. It's just my take. Richard Clark says, what about a Geek Lord shirt? I did mock one up at one point. I don't know. I'd get in trouble, I think. AWOL says, I came across super high-end 18,900 DAC headphone amp / preamp called the Chord Dave the other night. Just need 3 of them. And also the first product I've ever seen named Dave. If we're called Dave, you see the name Dave everywhere. It's frustrating. Anytime I'm in a meeting, there's always another Dave there. Always. Even when there's not supposed to be. But anyway, that's cool. Well, I haven't heard of that. I'll have to have a look at it. Google, I'm sure, will share it with me tomorrow. Marcia says, I was just thinking Dave would probably be a great uke player. Ew. Or better yet, get one of those 3-stringed guitars. Then you can sell 3-stringed Dave guitars as merch. Marcia, you're very close to getting a ban for saying such a thing about being a uke player. I don't know what you're thinking. So, on a date once, I don't know how much information I'm giving away here, or how much I should give away. So on a date, went back to the girl's place, and she had this girl I ended up being in a relationship for 10 years with. We went back to her place, and she had a ukulele, and I played the Godfather theme on it, and I think that's what sealed the deal. I think that's what made her think this guy is worth hanging around with for 10 years. So there you go. She didn't have a guitar, she had a uke, so there you go. That was fun, but yeah, I don't want to play the uke. I hate them. No, so Wilshire came out in 1959. There you go. You knew it was a long time ago. Good stuff. No, thanks for that. Glenn says new shirts diameter depth. First glory. I'm just. I don't know. I'm wary of you now. Marcia says only the best for Dave. AWOL. Of course. Best or second best, for sure. Ryan says, I got a 2012 LP special this week, all black satin with P90s and a leather gig bag. Great for the price. Sounds good. Yeah, 2012 wasn't a bad year. Wasn't a great year, wasn't a bad year, but the specials are cool. SB says, violent. I didn't specify how Ignici would trip over the Dorito and die in flight. I think this is, as I've said before, SB, I used to work in screenwriting. I think you should send me the details. We could make this a thing. Scott Bogvoet says Dank Pods uses the Chord Mojo. I haven't seen the Chord Dave. I haven't either. I'm curious now. as to what it is and how it is. Mark says for real uke chords are different because the strings are out of order, but 3-stringed guitars are easy because they are like the treble strings on a 6-string. I mean, AWOL says, I'd buy a 3-stringed Dave, and I'm pretty sure Muddy H2O is going to say something about that. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure he'll say something. Glenn says, Ryan, nice. That's a special feel as good as people say. Is that special feel as good as people say? I think so. Al says, Ryan, I bought the LP special a few years ago. Great guitar with the P90s, but I got the lousy cloth gig bag. Those, man, I hate them. I genuinely would not buy a guitar if I knew it came in that gig bag. The leather ones are nice, though. I do like them a lot. Ooh, okay. Mark says, Lug makes some pretty sweet models. They're originally devised for kids, but adults purchase them too as travel guitars and living room strummers. And they make acoustic and electric. They're not toys. I don't know. They seem like toys. So there you go. John Seeger says, my Gibson has some burst hiding under the finished quick call bottom out. Could be another 59. John, you want to be careful. He'll be knocking on your door asking for it. For sure. Yes. Well, you know. Someday that might end up being worth more than a 59. Muddy H2O with the super chat says, the upper fret access on my custom shop R9 was just as horrific as on my Epi Les Paul. The more you know. There you go. I mean, look, they're trying to make Epis as authentic as possible. And that's why it had the same fret access. That was horrific. So there you go. But yeah, thank you, Muddy H2O. You're such a shining beacon of everything. Marcia says, they are made with very high quality parts. I've seen them up close. Marcia, is this another company you're working for? Because you're pimping them pretty hard here again. I think you got a new job pimping these 3-string guitars. I'm not buying one, I'm telling you. You'll see it hanging up in the back there next week. T-Ball says, I think vintage guitars are overrated. I'm basing my opinion on my 89 Squire 2. So how I look on it, there's a couple of different camps on it. And it depends company to company, and it depends model to model, and it depends owner to owner. So if people take care of their guitars and the guitar is old, I think it's going to be great. But not all of them, because some of them are just shit to begin with. And even if you keep them good, they're still going to be shit. But there's a lot to be said for buying brand new, because then you can fix it up and get it ready and play it, and it's going to be great. And then there's a lot to be said for buying a guitar that someone's already played in and got all the work done on to make it right. So it's each to his own. I prefer looking at older guitars. I think there's more fun in them. They've all got stories to tell, but some of them are great. Some of them, yeah, I mean, you have to be careful because there's a lot of lemons out there. But that's probably enough content for a month's worth of videos, which yeah, you know, I might do it at some point. Ryan says, yeah, if they made a class 5 which was just a custom shop LP standard but not a reissue, it would be first on my list. They were about 50% more than a regular standard. Interesting, yeah. Not a reissue would be a cool idea. Fla says, worst episode of Babe Station ever. Hey Fla, that's not cool. Just if anyone doesn't know what Babe Station is, it's a channel in the UK where people take their clothes off. I mean, you know, isn't it based on donations? I think we won't get into that for now, but yeah. If you guys want to see me strip, that's on a different channel. Benny Larson says, one of the Epi Newport basses comes in what they call a Pacific Blue, but it looks very close to Pelham Blue to me. It could explain the orangey yellow California coral, though. I'll have to look into these, Benny. I haven't seen all the different colors available. I did see the yellowish one. I think, yeah. Is there a green one? I don't know. Anyway, I saw a couple of things that were new bass-wise, so I'll have to look into that. Marcia says, to Fla, yep, definitely not going to get good ratings And hey, there's 45 people watching. That's good rating. That's more than watches some shows on the TV. And Scott says, I still want an Epiphone to re-release the ET270. Man, I think you might be the only one. Muddy H2O says, 3 strings. I must have missed something. We're talking about guitars or your current underwear selection. And sir, with the super chat, I do appreciate it. But listen, I told you my underwear selection is a private matter that I do not discuss on social medias, usually. So, so yeah, still about guitars. Marsha's trying to sell us guitars, I think. She must have a link she's going to share with us soon. I think that's what's happening. Ryan says, yeah, Glenn, the one I got is nice. The guy played it enough just to break it in. The satin feels awesome, and it has the vintage binding. There you go. Sounds cool. For the special there. Very cool. Al says, my neighbor is moving. I wonder if that's because of my guitar playing. Oh, I would hope so. Marsh says, Dave should probably ban all of us, come to think of it. It's crossed my mind. It has crossed my mind. Butterfly Effect says, ask him. I mean, I could ask somebody. What have we got here? Flash says, €5 super chat. Thank you so much for being a good sport on the Babe Station. I love the channel. Keep it going. Thanks, I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. And yeah, listen, of course, I've always desired to be on Babe Station, but they wouldn't accept me. I don't know why. I could make a joke, but I might get banned off YouTube. Richard says, can Dave or anyone recommend some P90s that will fit in my Les Paul Studio Platinum? I don't mind spending a little money if they're really decent. I mean, have they got like P90 size routes on them, or has it got humbucker size routes on them? I mean, you can buy Gibson P90s now from the Gibson pickup shop. Those do a good job. Lawler makes some good P90s. Who else? Who did Colin on Guitaristas did a video recently where he put a different P90 in a guitar. Was it a Monty's P90? I think it might have been Monty's. They were checking out. Colin made it sound great, but Colin makes a lot of things sound great. So yeah, check those out, I would imagine. Seymour Duncan have some good options as well. Big fan of Seymour Duncan. And sooner or later, I will actually put up the sponsored link and content that they told me I could use. So keep an eye out for that, and I'll give you links to that. Glenn says, new shirt if you want to close the deal on a Friday night, play a uke. It was a Friday night. Scott McPhee says, Lawler's P90s are fantastic. Indeed, thanks for joining us, Scott, and that's a good advice. Yeah, Lawler's make some good pickups for sure. Al says, the best worst giveaway was a Casino Guitars Wonderwall Marathon. The winner played the same 3 chords for 8 hours, had bloody hands and guitar, but she won a Taylor Mini. Can't imagine listening to that 8 hours. Al, I saw that. I saw those videos. I refused to watch them. I was like, why would you do that to yourself? They're trying to do a Mr. Beast kind of YouTube thing that would get them going. Get them over that 50,000 so they could finally give away that Silver Sky they said they were giving away when they hit 50,000. Yeah, I don't know if it worked. I wasn't going to watch it, but I figured that was what's going to happen. Somebody would keep going until they had bloody fingers. Not my idea of a fun afternoon. There you go. Playing Wonderwall badly for 3 hours or 8 hours. Anyway, Richard says, do Lawlers fit in a Gibson USA humbucker route? No, you would have to. I mean, something there. You're probably looking if it's a humbucker route. You're probably looking at like some rail. What do they call them? P rails or something? From Seymour Duncan. Some other stuff like that. So yeah, there are other ones. Fat Cats, I think, are similar. They're in this guitar. Where's it gone? They're this one. This Eastman T486 thin line. It's actually a thin line B. Has Fat Cats, which are similar to P90s. I think, if I'm right, I could be wrong, but I think they are. They fit in a humbucker route, as far as I'm aware. But there you go. T-Ball says, whatever happened to 1 and 2 chord Dave? Authorities want to know. I just upgraded. I was 1 chord Dave for a while. And then I was 1.5 chord Dave. And then I upgraded to 2 chord Dave. And I jumped straight from 2 chord Dave to 5 chord Dave. But I wasn't good enough, so I had to downgrade again to 3 chord Dave. Since here I am. Ryan says, yeah, they do, Richard, if you get the right ones. Oh, there you go. Even perfect. They have some that fit. Excellent. Let me see. Scott says, my shed is cold, minus 19 degrees. There's a wind chill in the minus 30 to minus 35 here tonight. May have to relocate to the house. Dude, that is chilly. Yeah, definitely. Ryan says you need a fire barrel. Yeah, anything at all, we'll do it. We'll do it. Benny says the Seymour Duncan Fat Cats are humbucker sized. Yeah, those are cool. As I said, they're in the guitar that I'm going to be hopefully picking up soon. Glenn says it was 4 degrees this morning when I left for work this morning. Don't lie, Glenn. It's a Saturday. You didn't go to work. We all know where you went. Begins with a G and has a hole. Anyway, Marcia says, yeah, it's been like minus 20 plus minus actually here in NYC. That's pretty cold. Pads 1982 says, any thoughts on Affinity guitars, Rosewood fretboard on sub $200 guitars? I think Affinity guitars are a really good place to start. I think if I was at a stage where I was buying, it was on a budget, and I was like, I wanted to buy a Telecaster or a Stratocaster, or I don't even know the full models that they put out there. I would look at the Affinities. I think they make some cool finishes and they make some cool guitars. If I was to buy an Affinity, I would be looking at upgrades for the electronics. So probably worth just looking at more expensive Squires at that point, classic vibes and things. But I think the Affinities are cool, and I'm very jealous of people who are starting out in particular picking up Affinities. I think because when I started out, guitars were terrible in that price range. So yeah, in terms of Affinities, I think they're great. And I think the Rosewood, I'm not sure what species of Rosewood they're using, but it's pretty good. Look, they're not using the same old crap that some companies are using on their cheap guitars. So it's good, always good to see. T-Ball says, I may start a channel where people pay me to keep my clothes on. It's a good idea, Anthony. I think we may both have successful channels at doing that. I'm quite sure we would. Glenn says 3 Thong Dave. That's quite a successful channel at the moment. Actually, it's not me, it's a different guy. Richard says, thanks guys, I will look at both of those. Gonna be my first self-done pickup swap. Once you do the first one, you're good. It's just a bit tricky getting used to the soldering and all that sort of stuff. But it's not too bad. It's fairly straightforward. DMAX says minus 41 wind chill here this morning, warmed up to minus 28 wind chill now. It's supposed to be plus 1 tomorrow, the new weather. Wow. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to complain about weather where I am. In that case, Chris from Coburg says, come on people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. It's profound. Dylan Talks Tone sells handbound humbucker size P90s. Al says, I'm sure he does. Vincent says, talking vintage guitars, I recently bought a 1985 Japan Strat from some neck guitars, but I don't consider it vintage. Maybe in 20 years time it will be. How old does a guitar have to be vintage? So we had a little chat about this a while ago, Vincent, and I did some digging. At one point, it didn't matter what year the guitar was. If it was 40 years old, it was considered vintage. But I've heard people talking about 90s guitars as vintage. Of course, early 90s guitars are like 30 years old now, so they're kind of in that conversation anyway. But when it comes to it, everyone's going to have their own definition. I kind of think 40 years is the mark for me. So yeah, 40 years on. Anything, say 35 years, I'm like, that's an old guitar. No, not an old guitar, but it's getting there. Yeah, the tag vintage is used a little bit too often as well. You are 100% right on that. Yeah, I mean, like personally, if someone was coming up to me with a 1985 guitar, I'd consider it vintage. I know it's not quite 40 years, but I would. I'd be like, that's a vintage-ish guitar. Let's put it that way. But yeah, 40 is what I've heard a lot of people say. Some people will say 50. Some people will say 50s and 60s are vintage guitars and nothing else. Some people, as I said, say 90s guitars. So I think it's more of an individual thing. But sounds like a cool guitar, man. And yeah, Japanese Strats from 1985. That was those are pretty cool. I was looking at one. Actually, I do have one in my Reverb basket wish list thing, which is very cool, which is an 85 as well. Put it in there this week, so I wonder if it's a similar one. Glenn says, Dave, if you want to get on Babe Station, put on your Geek Lord tee and rub your uke. All right, Glenn, come on, we talked about that. I don't do uke playing anymore. Just worked that one time. Muddy H2O says, 3 dong, Dave. Too far. I mean, that would be impressive. I'm pretty sure I could make money out of that. T-Ball says, Guitarista, I thought that was Robert Plant. Hey, he does kind of look like Robert Plant. Marcia says, well, if it sells 3-string Dave guitars, then he can also sell them with 3-stringed strings. Don't knock the 3-strings guitars thing. Great merch opportunity with Lug, Dave's signature model. I'm like a loyal 6-stringer Marcia. We're not endorsing them around here. Glenn says, Muddy Dave is having a party Thursday. He said we're not invited. It's at Muddy's house, so he's allowed to come. John says, anyone else got hardly any lacquer on their silver sky neck? Mine feels like it's barely finished. Yeah, I said I don't know. Hopefully someone will be able to answer that for you. Mar says, Muddy, pretty sure we went too far 30 minutes ago. That's all that happens around here. We go too far every week, but hey, it's all good in good fun. What we got here? Ryan says, that's like playing trade guitars and their green LP giveaway at 50k. They've been saying that for a year and they still haven't come close. That's a cool guitar they're going to give away though someday, eventually. Yeah, I'd like to win that one. I like it. I like its color. That's a very cool guitar. Custom shop Les Paul. I do believe they set it at around 20,000 though. I mean, look, I could put something up now and be like, when I hit 50,000 subscribers, I'm giving away this cool Harley Benton. But yeah, it could take forever to get there, man. But I think, and especially I think in the guitar market, you see people like Trogley and Philip McKnight and Robert Baker and a few others, and they're over 100,000 or way over 100,000, whatever it is. Music is Win, I think, is over 1 million. Maybe you see people like that and you're like, oh, that's easy. I'll just make some videos. I'll get like millions of subscribers. I'll just target the people who watch those channels. But YouTube doesn't recommend every guitar channel to every other guitar channel's viewers. So yeah, it's actually quite hard to grow on YouTube. It seems easy, but and some people it ends up being easy, but it's not usually easy. What I'm finding, I know quite a lot of subscribers struggling to grow as fast as they thought they would. Just how it goes. I mean, hey, you keep working, you get there eventually. That's what happens. But I think that's what those giveaways came as. People were like, oh, I'm going to aim for this huge number and it'll get me there quicker. And it doesn't usually. So anyway, but yeah, the cool guitars are given away, both of those. They probably end up giving them away at the same time, I think. So maybe some 3-chord Davers can win. That'd be cool. Marcia says, to John, I feel like I've heard others say the same thing. About the silver sky neck. Yeah, it's not unfamiliar. I just don't have one myself to give you a definitive answer. Muddy says, we've seen how long it takes him to drink a beer. You really think it was going to be a fun party? Muddy. I'm surprised you went there. You know better, man. Come on. I'm just disappointed. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. But there you go. Glenn says, this stream went off the tracks in the first 3 minutes and it started to get out of hand. I mean, we lasted 3 minutes. That's pretty good. Ryan says, John, it's supposed to be satin. So that might be why. And John says it feels like it will dent easily. As I said, I've never had one in hand, so I'm not sure what kind of thing it is. But Ryan says it's satin. So it wouldn't surprise me too much. Mar says, I know, Ryan, I wish they'd at least change the promo ad. However, their numbers have gone up quite a bit. I think they've doubled followers in the last year. For playing trade guitars, yeah, they're over 40,000, I think. This is good. making some good content. Glenn says, Muddy Dave said after a few shots he would play his uke naked. Dudes, that only happens for one person, and you ain't that person. Al says, my Silver Sky SE has the same neck. I love it. Prefer it over lacquered necks. Yeah, because they get sticky, and so that's good. So yeah, so anyway, this seems like that's how it should be in that case. Muddy says to Glenn, I'd be more impressed if he could play the uke fully dressed and sober. Listen, let's just leave it there. Chris from Coburg says, Affinity guitars rule, learn to do a setup and you're good to go. I don't disagree with that at all. And Benny says, Lawler make humbucker size P90s they call novel 90s. I think Gibson have some too. That's for Richard, who was asking about P90s. Very cool stuff indeed. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have known that off the top of my head, to be honest. Glenn says, I don't know, Muddy. He says he's quite the seducer when he plays that uke sober. I did not say I was sober. That is a lot likely to have been the case. Yeah, Mexican restaurants sell beer. Ryan says, wasn't the Silver Sky a car model by Saturn? Possibly. And John says, I just ordered a HB Goto SG. Let's hope I get a good one as the last SG. I sent back. I like the look of the Harley Benton Gotos, John. So yeah, hopefully. Personally, I don't like their SG shape. I think it's the offsetness of it. I don't know. Something just doesn't. I know they can't completely copy the SG, but yeah, just because I love the SG so much, it just bugs me a little bit. But I hope you get a great one, and yeah, be sure to let us know, because that'd be cool. Especially because I think they're really trying with that one to make a great guitar. So it'd be good to know how good they are. DMAX says, I had a surf green Affinity Strat and it was a nice guitar. Definitely recommend. Yeah, I hear a lot of people say similar things like that about Affinity guitars. Glenn says, John, do you have any other HB guitars? And John says, once the HBs leave Indonesia, they get sawed-all set up, so it seems hit and miss. Yeah, I mean, I've heard that. I've had a few Harley Bentons come through at times, and they've all pretty much seemed these. There was one or two that could have done a little bit of additional setup, but they weren't too bad. Mostly pretty good, including the super cheap ones. So I've had some good luck with them, I think. Nella says, sellers like to call anything old vintage. That's true. It's rare. I saw a new one today on Reverb, mega rare, which I thought was fun. I can't remember what it was, but I remember thinking it's not even regular old rare, my friend. It was like I think it was a 2012 Les Paul standard or something. It was something seriously not mega rare. But anyway, Muddy H2O says to Glenn, not shocking, playing with his uke all day is what he does best. You two are just, you think you're in the comedy club. That's what's going on here. Glenn says, yeah, I heard Dave plays with you. All right, guys. All right. Come on. Better jokes than that. You're kind of dipping under the line. I mean, I see where you're going, but honestly, you're getting a D minus. See what I did there? Anyway, I think you should up the standard of, if you're going to make uke jokes, to be better. Better uke jokes. That's what I want from you guys. John Sigger says, Benny Larson, yeah, cheers, mate. The QC is hit and miss, and was told they get no setup once they leave the Far East. I think that for the higher priced ones, they get a little bit more. But honestly, they sell so many of them. I'd be surprised if they were doing a whole lot of setups on them. So yeah, once they leave the factory, that's as much of a setup I think you're going to get. To be honest, John, usually, I mean, KDH's video recently would suggest otherwise, but usually though, if you have any problems, they're quite straightforward to deal with. I've been dealing with Harley or Thomann for must be close to 15 years, and they've always been really good in terms of returns and stuff like that. Sometimes I've returned stuff and been like, I just don't like it, and they're like, okay, cool. So they're pretty good that way. They'll take care of you. John says to Glenn, yeah, a couple of Fusion Series roasted maple SS frets and no issues. Good stuff. Ryan says, Nella, also rare and the holy grail. Yeah, It's the rare that gets me. Like everything is flipping rare. Every single guitar on Reverb is rare. And then it makes the ones, I mean, there are genuinely rare guitars, and you see people listen, like, this is a rare guitar. And it's like, yeah, it is. But like then the guy selling his Les Paul Jr. says it's rare, or whatever it is. And it's like, it just devalues the word rare. And yeah, the Holy Grail thing. Ugh. Anyway, it's a whole thing. Glenn says, John, I've been looking at a few Harley Benton. Haven't got one yet. There you go. You never know what will come this year. Maybe a 3-Chord Dave giveaway will get you a Harley Benton. Ryan says, instead of Harley Benton, go with a Gretsch or Ibanez. Anything Japanese. Gretsch or Ibanez both making some cool stuff right now, for sure. And what else have we got here? Glenn says, I like Ibanez. I was in a shop recently and I played a Gretsch. I liked it, but the neck definitely needed to be broken in. I didn't like the feel of it. I played other Gretsch that felt good. Interesting. I mean, if you're going to be playing Gretches, you would expect them to be quite similar, I suppose, neck-wise. But yeah, I've only played a couple of Gretches down the years, and they both felt good. But hey, interesting to know which ones you were playing, Glenn. Which models? Benny says to John, I doubt HBs even get much of a QC. My experience would suggest they don't. Yeah, I get where you're coming from on that, Benny. As I said, from my experience, they the more expensive ones tend to, like the ones that are like 400 or so now, 350, 400. Those that get a look over. The other ones I would say are not looked at that much, and because the volume is so high, they basically just ship them out straight away. Which, you know, and not surprising the numbers that they have, that they don't have the staff really to go through each one and give them a proper setup and stuff like that. They assume from what I understand, they request from the factory to send out finished guitars and like ready to play out of the box. They're supposed to be shipped in good condition, but yeah, any factory is gonna not really do that. So anyway, as I said, the good thing is that from my experience, they will usually take care of it. If there's something wrong with something, just send it back and be like, I don't like this. Don't be like, there's something wrong. Just be, I don't like this. They'll take care of you. Ryan says, yeah, they have different styles for cheaper stuff. I like Ibanez Hardcore. Interesting. It's on top. Says, I got 3 Jet guitars, which are amazing for the price. I've never played a Jet guitar. It's on top, but I have seen, I think Andy Guitar Geek has had them on his channel a few times. They look pretty cool. Yeah, something I should have to look. I mean, I have a list of about 20 different guitar brands I need to check out, but that's on it there. The Jet guitars have been on it for a while. So yeah, who knows? Maybe one of these days we will check it out here, but good to know. And thanks for dropping in and saying hello to us. Good to see you. Glenn says, I did play an Hardcore once. It felt pretty good. I don't own a roasted neck. I tried one and I did like the feel of it. Roasted maple necks do feel pretty nice. From my experience, a couple of guitars I've had it. Very cool indeed. Marcia says, did y'all remember to press the thumbs up? Another friend's demand, or I mean reminder. Indeed, you gotta hit the thumbs up. Otherwise, I know Marcia comes after you, and you don't want that to happen. Anyway, we're pretty close to the end of the chat. That's weird. That doesn't happen too often. So let me see. We've got some time, so we can just shoot the breeze, as folks say, and also how cold it is where some of you are. So let me weary of that. So anyway, while we're here, throw out some video ideas if you have them. Anything you'd like to see, anything you would like to have brought up on the channel, any particular guitars you want me to look at over the next while. That's one that I will definitely take on board, because, you know, got a year of content to plan out, so I've got to do that. I can't just wait until the NAMM show rolls around to get all the content, but there's stuff coming as well. Positive Grid have been reaching out. They've got something cooking. I think they're doing a big push in the next month or so for something. I don't know if it's something new, but they've got something. So we'll be doing videos with them as well, and some other guitar companies. Anyway, Marsha says, did y'all remember? Oh, yeah, got that one out. Magic Mitts says, hi, Marsha. Yes. Good to see you, Magic Mitts. And glad you said that you didn't hit the thumbs up because, don't want you to have to worry about Marsha. Marsha says, roasted necks are very hard from what I hear. If you bend and manipulate the neck, it may not be for you. I was just going to make a joke about the whole aggressive violence thing that we were in the middle of earlier, but I'm going to leave it. Marcia says, I love seeing all these new names. Please feel free to chat. Don't let me intimidate you. Indeed. Yeah, absolutely. She's just, Marcia's our enforcer. So just don't step out of line. But it's all good. Yeah, it's great to see all the new folks who drop in every week. And I like to say each week, don't be weirded out by some of the chats, comments and stuff like that. It's all in good fun and it all has some other meaning. Usually it comes back to Steel Panther, but that's, it's just because it's a big Steel Panther fan club. That's all we are here at the end of the day. John says, yeah, you're right. Toman have great return policies. Glad you've dealt with them in that case, John. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I like them. They also inadvertently leak information from time to time, but I'm not saying they're a source or somebody who's told me stuff, but I've seen stuff posted and been like, because I start work by 7 a.m. every morning, and sometimes stuff is on their website that's not supposed to be at 7 a.m. in the morning, just and then it disappears for 6 weeks. So anyway, that's a whole thing. Mar says, I just noticed that I feel like you skipped a whole bunch of the chat, Dave. And I don't think so. If I did, it's because YouTube just removed it from my two different things that I'm using. But yeah, as I'm looking through, I read that. Yep. So I mean, going all the way through back over an hour, I have still, that one, did that one. So I'm in live chat just before Scott says I'm in the wrong thing. I am in the right chat. Yeah, it's all, read that. Read that. And that's where we are now. So yeah, I don't think we did miss anything, but hey, if we did, it's YouTube's fault. So, but usually they don't, the two of them, if something's missing from one, it's in the other. So, and one of them just gives me everything, and the other one I have to change to live chat, which I do before every stream. So don't think I've missed anything there, Marsha. But if you think I did, maybe something came up, I don't know. But yeah, it all appears to be in order. Magic Myths says, I love all my HBs. Get my tools out and make them better. I wouldn't do that with more expensive guitars. The result being that my cheaper guitars are better to play than my more expensive ones. That's the way to do it. I mean, it's a great way to learn how to do that kind of stuff. Make the upgrades and changes that you need. Because as you say, you can't do it with the more expensive ones because one slip could be the end of like a couple of grand or whatever it is. So, or it costs more money to fix it. So there you go. Al says, 10F in New Jersey. That's pretty cold up there, Al. And Muddy H2O says, minus 65F with wind chill here the past 2 days. Well then, sir, it is a good job that you're heating the place up with your, hotness. Just kidding, of course. Nala says, the only Ibanez I have is the Fireman F/M 300. I don't like skinny necks. This thing has a nice fat neck. Love it. And the mini humbuckers. Mini humbuckers are very cool. Although somebody told me the other day that I should swap out the P90s from my SG Special to mini humbuckers. And I just couldn't respond to that because that is just wrong. Mini humbuckers are great, but I'm not going to take out the P90s from my SG. What are you talking about, man? Positive Grid would be better releasing a larger cabinet. Like 60 watt would be really nice for home use, and upgraded 40 watt would be nice after 3 years too. They're working on something. I can't talk about anything too much yet, but they're working on something. And I think there's going to be a few of us involved in it. So yeah, from what I have been led into so far, there's stuff coming from them this year. Uh, T-Ball says, Dave, when you go to Nam, do me a favor, pick me up a PRS hollow body. I'll pay the shipping. Thanks, bro. Hey, man, if they're giving out guitars, I'll take as many as I can, but usually they're not doing that. But if they, I don't think PRS are going to be at Nam, by the way. But yeah, if I can get one and get out the door quick enough, because yeah, I think they'd be quite far back. But we'll see. You never you never know. Glenn says the Gretsch I played recently was a double jet BT, but neck felt funny. I liked the Streamliner Junior jet neck. I like the Streamliner Juniors. They look pretty cool. Magic Myth says, congrats to Ireland for the rugby win today. Yeah, Magic Myth, that was good. It's always good to start the campaign in the Six Nations with a win. Pretty dominant display. So it was pretty cool. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes when we get up against the other teams. I don't want to say the bigger teams because Wales are pretty good. But yeah, did a good job. Al says to T-Ball, you missed the big sale on Andertons for PRS hollow body. I bought one on about 60% of retail. That was, yeah, Al got a nice one. He put it on Instagram, and no, not really jealous of you, Al. Not really, not at all. Not one tiny bit. Maybe a little bit. Muddy says, Dave, can't wait to smell that Agnesi leather at Nam. I actually have a very similar jacket myself, which I think I might have to wear in the sweltering Anaheim heat just to, feel like my hero. But we'll see. Benny says, Americans are lucky. They get a 55-point Sweetwater inspection. All we Europeans get is the Harley Benton 5-second QC. Yep, that's true. Yeah, I was a bit jealous that they get 55-point Sweetwater inspection. Plus, they get free candies, sweets, and good stuff sent to them. I'm jealous. When the rumors of Sweetwater coming to Europe were floating around there last year, I was quite excited. But then somebody, I think it was Glenn, told me that it wasn't happening. I was quite upset. But it's all right. I still love Glenn, so it's fine. Marcia says, Al, that sale needed to happen after I won my upgrade kit. There you go. T-Ball says, my wife wouldn't let me anyway. I just had a $2,000 unexpected medical bill. That sucks, man. Yeah, I could talk about medical bills for a long time for you guys. You guys need to move to Europe where we don't have medical bills. At least not like that. Andertons is still selling the hollow body at a discount, says Al. Andertons have some pretty good deals usually, so that's pretty cool that they're still doing that. John says, Benny, yeah, the Sweetwater team look like they care. At least get them ready to play. They do indeed. And of course, PRS. If you're buying a PRS, you get the fact that they've been checked before. Although I don't think the ones that come to Europe get checked. But anyway. And Marcia says, T-Ball, Dave definitely needs to get some samples at NAM. Oh, we'll do his best. He'll do his best. If I can get, I don't think I'm going to walk out with any guitars, but t-shirts and strings and plex and stuff. We'll see. We will see. I'm probably not going to be there on the last day of NAM, which is when they give out, or not give out, but they're open to selling display models, usually some of the bigger companies anyway, I believe. So yeah, probably won't be able to do that, but we'll see. I'll be leaving LA on the Saturday afternoon, so I will be there the Thursday and the Friday though, so that's when all the good stuff will happen. T-Ball says, I hear that Agnesi leather smells like sadness and disappointment. Dude, no, that's what his feet smell like. Do you remember when he was doing the live streams from his house? Anyway, it's a whole other story. Marcia says, I've been predicting a positive grid release. I figured it's been like 3 years since the Spark hit the market. It's been too long already. This is what these companies got to do, right? They got to do something else every year. Otherwise, it gets, they stop making money. So yeah, there's something coming. I don't know. I actually don't know what it is yet, but I know there's something coming from them. Benny says to John, I'd pay extra for something similar to the Sweetwater inspection. So would I, actually. I think it's a great thing that they do. I think the truth is people think Thomann is bigger than it is. It's not as big as Sweetwater from what I believe, but it's still pretty big. But it's Europe's biggest, but it's not as big. They need to. If they could get on that, that'd be cool. Glenn says, Dave, you don't need to run to the door after you snag the guitar. Someone walking around with a guitar at NAMM is not too suspicious. No, but getting away from the door, that's the key. Getting out the door and running away, that's the thing. I'll case the place on a Thursday and then case the joint on the Thursday and see what I can do on a Friday. Probably won't be allowed in the door now. Al says, if I did it, I get whipping. I do it. What? Instagram. Don't tell me. I don't know what's going on there, Al. But we'll see. Vincent says, if you see Rob Chapman at NAMM, please give him a slap for all of us. Fair enough. Vincent, if that happens, I'll be live streaming. So keep an eye. If I start a mystery live stream, you know what it is. There you go. Al says, Andertons did review my PRS. Inspect, I mean, yeah, they do an inspection. The thing is now, I mean, I'm very reluctant to buy anything from the UK now because of taxes and stuff that get added on. I'll give you an example. I bought a greeting card from the UK 2 weeks ago, and it was £5. However, they couldn't send it directly to Ireland because there's some problem with the UK post office being on strike. So I have a UK address I can use, similar to the one I have in the US. But it comes through customs then and all that. So it gets delivered to the UK address. They ship it to me. And basically, I ended up paying 3 times the price of the card for having it shipped that way to me. I say shipped. It was a greeting card. It was just sent in the post. So I went to there. It was like a $3.50 charge. That's fine. It's $3.50. I'm cool with that. But then I ended up paying on a £5 gift card. I paid £7 in income or import taxes. So how does that work? It's like 125%. Anyway, I didn't care because I needed the card. It was a specific thing, and I thankfully I don't buy cards too often. So yeah, imagine buying a guitar that's like £1,500, and then it ends up costing you €3,000. No thanks, I don't want to do that. So anyway, yeah, Andertons are great, but it's just too awkward. And I know Andertons are actually one of the few who take their taxes off before they send to the rest of Europe. But for a lot of places, they won't do that. But you never know. Glenn says, Sweetwater, candy, stickers, and a follow-up to see how things are working out. That's a dangerous call because while on the line, you're tempted to order more. Yeah, don't answer that call, Glenn. That's what you got to do. They know what they're doing. Benny says, Warwick Distribution did a full QC and setup of my BC Rich Mockingbird. Lowest action I've ever seen and no fret buzz. Very cool. John says, Marsha, Line 6 are also most likely working on the next gen AI controlled nanopod. Yeah, there you go. Muddy HO says, just do the old guitar down the pants trick. We know you have plenty of space in there. A better joke. I mean, it's an attempt at a joke. I like what you're thinking. You're using the old brain there. Yeah, good stuff. I mean, we'll see what happens. I said, if I try to steal a guitar, I'll live stream it, so you guys can figure out what I'm trying to do. Scott says, what's the oldest living artist with a signature guitar that you can think of? Bonamassa? Les Paul doesn't count. Well, he's not living anymore, but he did. I guess he was for a while. Al says, when I bought from Andertons, no tax, no import duty, best deal I've ever had. Yeah, you guys get a better deal buying it from the UK than we do. Europe doesn't like the whole Brexit thing. So yeah, like anything coming from the UK gets taxed. There's nothing you can do about it. It's getting taxed. So there you go. But yeah, from the UK to the US, they can send something, I think up to $800 with no import tax, something like that. And they do their best. They take the tax off before they send it, like their VAT, which is good. So yeah, actually there's a possibility, because Peach Guitars is one of the companies that have the T486 that I want. If they can do something similar to what Andertons do, where they take off the UK VAT and then ship it to me. I might buy it from there. We'll see. There's a guy in Holland has one that would just be easier. So Muddy HO says, Buddy Guy, perhaps. That's a good shout, actually. Yeah, that is some good guitar knowledge right there. Scott says, has to be alive. And Les Paul is dead, says Glenn. Indeed, that's true. Buddy Guy, I think, is up there. Scott says, how old is Iomi? Good question. He's definitely up there. But I think Buddy Guy might be the one. So let's see. Muddy H2O says, think Buddy is 86 or something like that. And Tony is 74. Yeah, so 86 is older than 74. So that's, yeah, you're on the money right there. DMAX says, there's Anderton's no tax deal just applied to the UK, or to the EU, sorry. I think so. I think they will ship no tax to the US. No, I know that they do to the US, but the EU, I think you have to contact them and they'll take the VAT off if you're in the EU. It's weird how they do it. It's a bit complicated. Brexit messed everything up. I used to buy a lot of stuff from the likes of Andertons and people in the UK, other, not just guitar related stuff, but now hardly anything. Only if I can't find it anywhere else. But yeah, I think Andertons have it all sussed out. So you can just reach out to them. They'll tell you how it works for your location. Al says, Buddy Guy, right, Muddy. And John says to Marcia, they start doing profiling like the Neural DSP who copied Kemper. Yep. Grant says, I answered a call seeing how was the polish I ordered. Next thing I know, I'm buying a microphone and I don't feckin' even sing. You should sing, Glenn. We all want that video to be the next one on your YouTube channel. Singing, testing your microphone. Let's do it. I think you should put it out on Monday. It's a good day for uploading videos, Monday, because people are back in work and they don't want to be doing work, so they watch videos. It's not what I do if my boss is watching. For at least half the day, I do some work on a Monday. 3/4. No, 3/4 I don't do the work. Anyway, it's fine. I hit my numbers. My H2O says Clapton is probably number 2 at 77. Yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah, I suppose living. Yeah, you're probably right. Let me see. Glenn says, I just answered the call of nature. There you go. Amar says, I think Anderton's has a video explaining the import-export thing. It explains on their site too. Yeah, they do indeed. They have definitely have a video, but if they reach out, because I think it's different from location, like it's different here in Ireland to how it is folks in the US, but they ship all over the world, so you should be able to get something of an explanation from them. But guys, it looks like we're at the end of the chat. It looks like everything has been said for tonight, and it's been a fun one. I enjoyed it. It was good. Muddy H2O brought the best jokes of the night, I think. Glenn a close second, and some of you made me worry. So it's all good. But yeah, it's been super cool. Thank you so much for joining me for tonight's show. We'll finish it up a few minutes early, and why not? But don't forget, there are some guitar videos coming next week, guitar related videos that I put up on my channel. You can check out this one anytime you want over on Patreon. It's Guitar Wish List. It's back, and there's going to be some cool guitars on it. It's slightly different than it was before, by the way, and will be different. Got a different spin on it. So keep an eye out for that. We will indeed be back next week for Chord Dave Live as well, number 66. We're working our way towards 69, and we'll get there soon, in about 4 weeks probably. Anyway, have a great rest of your weekend, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll be back very soon, but until then, take care.